Buongiorno everyone, welcome back to the Magpie Channel TV in sunny Toon, Gateshead, Angel of the North, iconic landmark. This is actually the first time, I think, maybe the second, I've ever filmed here at the Angel of the North. So I thought, you know, it is a sunny day, let's have a little day out, visit the Angel of the North, do a video with you lot. Obviously need the shades in the middle of September. Hey, wish this weather would last forever in Newcastle, but the dark nights, the cold, the rain, it's all coming, so let's enjoy it while we can. But we're not here to talk about the Angel of the North Viners, talk about the weather forecast. We had to talk about Newcastle United, surprise, surprise, on the Magpie Channel TV. Disclaimer, no podcast tonight. As usual, we normally do a live podcast, 7 PM every Tuesday. However, Keg is away, and I've just been too busy to get a guest sorted. So it could do with the little break, to be fair, but I am here today to bring you some content, so you've still got something to watch tonight and over the next couple of days before the busy games start coming. You know, we've got Fulham on Saturday, Wimbledon on Tuesday, so plenty of content to come. But I have to start here, right? I have to reflect and I have to say, how have Newcastle United done this? How have we managed to be third in the Premier League and unbeaten so far? Now, let's not go mad. Let's not get carried away. We are obviously only a few games into this season, 10 points out of 12, 4 games played. But we are unbeaten and we are third. We're actually tied second with Arsenal. So that is just absolutely ridiculous, considering, as everyone is saying, amongst the fan base and some in the media as well, we haven't played very well. We haven't played very well at all. But guess what? Football is a results business, not necessarily performances. However, is it sustainable? We're going to talk about that. We're going to reflect on the games. We're going to say what's going to happen going forward, and let me know in the comments below what yous have made in Newcastle United's season so far. But it is the best start to a Premier League season since 1995-1996 for the Toon Army, Eddie Howe's black and white army. And this on your screen there now, if I remember to put it on, is a points tally since Eddie Howe took over in 2021, and Newcastle United sit 4th in that table, 4th in the Premier League since Eddie Howe took over. All these things that's happening in the background at the club, all the drama that people are talking about, even you've seen on Sunday on the game, you know, they were constantly looking over to Mitchell and Bunce and Darren Eales in the crowd. Every time something happened, the camera zoomed in on them. They were desperate, they were waiting for a chance to maybe talk about that feud in depth. They're saying, oh, well, look at it, Newcastle getting beat here, this, you know, things aren't right, there's trouble here and all that. They would have been quick to jump on that, no doubt about it. And we know there is obviously unrest behind there between Howe and Mitchell since his appointment. It's clear, you can bury your heads in the sand, but it's obvious, you know, it's not negative for me, it's realistic that there is clearly unrest there. I don't think it should be dramatised as much as some people are saying it, and civil war and all that, you know. I hope they can sort it, really do, in January. But I tell you what the club need to do is make sure it's sorted on Eddie Howe's behalf, for Eddie Howe, because that points tally, his record, is outrageous for Newcastle since taking over, considering where we were. Yes, we've spent, what, 350 to 400 million, but even before that, even when he took over and we're in the bottom 3, the signings that he made, that again, he himself said in the press conference the other day he was very proud of, has done amazing. And even with the players that he had from the Bruce era, from the Rafa Benitez era, from the Mike Ashley era, you know, he's worked absolute wonders with them. Wonders with them. Obviously, Joe Linton being the main one, but every single one of them, he has improved. And we'll talk about them now, though. We'll talk about the games. Let's just reflect quickly on the most recent one, then we'll run through the others. Wolves, 2-1 win, a place that we notoriously draw at. Molineux is never a happy hunting ground for Newcastle, but they picked up the first win there in over 10 years in the Premier League. So that was brilliant. That was brilliant, but how did we do it? Because we're 1-0 down, and we're doing what the pattern of play has been throughout this whole season, which is have a great 10-15 minutes opening, play crap until about the 65th, 70th, 75th minute, and then finish strong at the end as well. You know, we start games strong and we finish games strong. But the in-between is poor. And to be fair to Eddie Howe, he made the changes. The players that should have started the game, really, maybe minus Willock, even though I say minus Willock because we hear of his injuries. Every time he plays, he looks one of the fittest players on the pitch. So I don't know how it's this thing about injuries, and obviously it's managing his workload, I think, because we know he does get injured very, very easily. But the players that he brought on at half-time, your Tonali, your Willock, Harvey Barnes in particular, obviously, changed that game for the better. Now, there is one part of you where you can caveat this and say, well, those players should have started the game, like I did in the Wolves vlog when the team news came out. I was like, why on earth is Sean Longstaff getting your game ahead of Sandro Tonali? That was berserk. Why on earth is Harvey Barnes, who's been on great form for us so far this season, looks dead up for it from pre-season, point to prove. He's fit again now after a torrid time last year with niggles and that toe injury that no one knew what the crack was with that. Why is Murphy playing ahead of him? That was strange. But like I say, should you be starting those best players from the off? For me, yes, you should. Yeah, because Wolves, if it wasn't for Nick Pope and Wolves being a bit wasteful, you're 2-3-0 down there and you're chasing the game. So those better players, the best players, basically have to start from the off. To caveat that, you look at it and think, wow, bringing substitutions from Eddie Howe, they changed the game. What an impact. What an impact those players had. Barnes off the bench, goal scorer. Great. But we're getting bailed out. We got bailed out there at Wolves by Barnes screamer. We got bailed out by Shaw's long-range effort that deflected. So, although I will say this, right, there is games this season where we have played really bad. Bournemouth, away, in particular. Wolves, I thought, were pretty good. Like I said, in spells, I thought we did well. You know, Gordon hits the post after a great move. There's other bits and pieces where we've threatened not enough for the keeper, but I think we had good passages of play and we're way better. It was just Joe Linton was having a stinker again. He's having a bad season. And others that weren't clicking, that weren't having a good game. And Lewis Hall was struggling and stuff. You know, Tino got dragged off again. And to be fair to Trippier, once more, he came on, did very well. So it's hard when you look at it, because I'm absolutely buzzing, obviously. Absolutely buzzing, because for me, picking up the points when you're not playing well is surely a positive that when we do start clicking, we do start stringing things together, the performances improve, then we're going to continue on this path. And you know what it is, we've set ourselves up for a potentially great season here. Once more, you know, third in the league. Again, it's only 4 games in. I think you kind of judge how anyone's going to finish after about 10 games. That normally gives you a good barometer of where teams are going to finish, how strong they're going to play. You're going to be able to see about 10, 12 games in who's probably going to be in the relegation mix, who's probably going to be fighting for Europe. Although, you know, things can change. You can go on a mad run like we did in that first season already, Howe. But normally that gives you a rough idea. 4 games doesn't, really, normally. But I'm obviously pleased. Yes, performances could be better, should be better, but the results are there. And, you know, some of the games have been tough. You know, your Spurs at home, Wolves away. Like I said, we always draw there. So those games have been tough. Those games haven't been easy. So we've, in Bournemouth, to get a point at Bournemouth after, you know, struggling in that game, not really finding a rhythm. Bournemouth, Eddie Howe, he never goes there and wins. So I would say that we're going to be proud of that. We're going to be pleased with that performance. And even Southampton, listen, Southampton first game of the season, there was all that anticipation, excitement for the first game of the season, and the referee completely kills it. Or shall I say, Brereton Diaz completely ruins the game. You know, he's diving, his acting, costs the game of flowing nicely, but to go on and still win that 1-0, get the 3 points, was huge. That was massive for us. And then we played Bournemouth, not great. Spurs, you know, very good. Spurs, to come back again from that game, and Spurs were dominant, but we didn't play well. But we still found a way to win, and that's the key. And you hope going forward, I think starting this Saturday, we actually have got a really good record at Fulham. We'll go there and control the game a bit better. That's what we need to do. Put our foot on things, perform well, have some more chances, and hopefully get a few goals, because that's what we normally do at Craven Cottage. So I'll be pleased with that. But that's got to start then. And obviously we're talking about the league. Let's not forget that in the Carabao Cup, we are through the next round. Again, that was not a very good game. A game where we struggled against Forest's B team. Really, we put out a very strong side, and they didn't. And we scored after 18 seconds, we didn't kick on. We had to get through on a penalty shootout. Let's hope there's no banana skins next week when we do play Wimbledon in that cup game, because all eyes will be on that. You know, they'll be looking at a tiny little ground in Wimbledon. You know, the giant killing story will be there. So they'll be craving that. The media will be craving an upset there in the cup, but hopefully that isn't the case. But the question remains, is this sustainable? Is this how Newcastle can carry on for the rest of the season? Well, no, it's not really, because other teams are going to capitalise on those mistakes. Other teams are going to capitalise and score their chances more than the ones we've first played. I mean, Man City at the end of the month is going to be a tough one for sure. But other teams will do better than that. And it's like Ten Hag, really, you know what I mean? At Man U, he had a lot of time where he was grinding out results somehow. Yes, last season they finished 8th in the league, but they won a cup. The season before that, they somehow, you know, finished all right in the table. There's just moments of brilliance, isn't it? From Man U, you know, Bruno Fernandes will pick them out or something, or Garnacho or something. And at the minute, it's kind of a team effort from Newcastle, and that's what I like of it more. It's like Southgate in England, Bellingham overhead kick to keep us in it, and then Watkins off the bench. You know, these things, the luck runs out in the end. It did for us in the final. But what I like about Newcastle United, and what I think will differentiate from that, is that we have immense team spirit. We have such unity in the squad. You can see how much everyone fights for each other, fights for the badge, still fights for Eddie Howe. You know, anyone trying to say that they're not, or the dressing room, it may be a boardroom, but the dressing room is definitely still there. I absolutely love this group of players, and I love Eddie Howe. And I think that's what will carry it on for us. And hopefully we do start playing like how I've done. We'll get that intensity back. The intensity is our identity. We haven't really seen that at the minute this season so far. So if we can get that back, get back in the flow of things, I think we'll be laughing. And I predicted us to finish 3rd at the start of the season. I then changed it to 4th or 5th because we didn't strengthen the start 11. There's nothing stopping us from doing that now. When you look around the league, you know, Man U were lucky against Southampton, got the win in the end, but they missed a pen. Chelsea, same thing at Bournemouth, exact same game. Bournemouth were the better team, missed a pen. They get bailed out by Nkunku. You know, these players will carry you through games at times. Liverpool losing at home to Forest. The opportunity is there for Newcastle United to have another top season. It really, really is. And I'm excited by it. Listen, let's hope the performances improve, but while we're still winning, while we're still unbeaten, I will take that all day long. But how we've managed to do it is pretty unbelievable, to be honest, so far. To be sitting 3rd and unbeaten is mad. Let's make sure we pick up points against Fulham, because obviously the next one in the league at home to Man City at the end of the month is obviously going to be very, very tough. But we'll focus on those games closer to the time. That'll do for me, Peter. I think it's time to hit the old sunbathe, then you ask me. Glorious weather here in the Toon. Let me know what you think of this season so far. What do you think is going to happen going forward? Are we going to start picking up results? Are we going to start, you know, losing out on that, maybe that bit of luck? Are teams going to take their chances more? Drop your thoughts now. It's early doors, but let us know what you think below. Please do subscribe to my channel TV if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up and enjoy yourself.